Hey, haven't you been wanting to start a podcast?
Yeah, but doesn't it take a lot to make one?
Well, let me tell you about Anchor. It's free, and it's the easiest way to make a podcast. On top of that, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Oh, that sounds amazing. But doesn't it take a lot of work to put my podcast on different platforms?
Actually, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more.
That sounds fantastic.
On top of that, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
So where do I get started?
Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of the Convoluted Podcast. It's your host, Liz, and I'm here with Tyrant, Dominus, aka Jesus.
Hey.
And if your first time listening, we hope you follow or subscribe. It's free, and you can always unfollow or unsubscribe. So let's get into the episode. So how are you doing today, Jesus?
Oh, busy. Getting ready. We're closing into our 100th episode.
I know. I'm so excited. We're on a roll.
We're doing a little bit of housekeeping in the background, but yeah. So we're hoping to make the most of our 100th episode. How have you been?
I'm tired. I don't know if it's just hours or the days or whatever. I don't know anymore. So, just a lot of going on.
Understandable.
I think maybe my uncle passed away, so that's been kind of a hardship, I guess, on my family. I didn't have the luxury of grieving for him until like after my work week. So
when your adult life can't even let a person grieve properly.
I know. So every beer I have for him or whatever hard drink I have, it's a tribute to him. So if you guys are out there having a drink out there, post one for him. He'll always love it. His name is Tim, so go Tim.
There you go. Drink out for Trim. Let's kind of get into this week's episode. Let's talk. Actually, talking about memories and stuff. Did you see that Nickelodeon posted a kind of a clip on their Twitter with the old Steve?
Old Steve as in... Sorry, you're gonna have to jog my memory. I didn't watch a lot of Nickelodeon.
From Blue's Clues.
Oh, yes. That became such a meme.
Did you not watch Blue's Clues when you were younger?
No, I didn't have access to that when I was younger, actually. I only had, what did I say, 5 or 6 stations.
Oh, the local channels?
Yeah, the local channels growing up as a kid. We didn't have Dish or cable.
Yeah.
Oh.
We had it on and off growing up, so there was months when we had it and there was months when we didn't. But yeah, for a lot of people, Blue's Clues and a lot of those early shows were a big part of their childhood growing up. I know for sure it was for our family for the most part.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting to see Steve come. They for the the producers and everyone's just make a kind of a little clip and see what happens, because it's one of those things that for a very long time they replaced the host of Blue's Clues, and what was interesting.
And there was a lot of controversy because they're like, what happened to him? And I heard a lot of it was he's committed suicide. That was the main one I heard.
Oh, that's the one you heard? Oh, the one we heard is the one we've heard growing up was that he was a drug addict. And I
think I might have heard that one briefly too. So I don't know, it was a mixture of everything.
I was like, okay, that's weird. But apparently no. He just decided that he was kind of like, okay, I made it this far. I'm gonna just pursue higher education, and that's it. Like that was a simple like okay guys, I'm kind of done playing this character. I need to move on with my life. Like, oh, very simple and wholesome thing, and it kind of blew out of proportion. I don't know how it started, but yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of mixture of what I've heard when he left the show. I think I heard more of that controversy than actually watching the show itself. I might have watched it briefly, around like maybe my nephew. I don't remember. It was a while ago. Maybe around my younger sister's age. But yeah, no. I really never watched it.
It was nice. I'll play a clip of it here, or should, if I can get the audio properly. Like I said, we're trying different things, so it should be playing right now. But yeah, that was interesting. I remember. Did you watch the clip?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I saw the memes.
Oh, you should. I think if you go to our Discord, it's actually on there right now. You can listen to it while we talk. I remember when we were watching. It's like a minute long. Whatever. The audience are just finished listening to it because I put the clip up there. I remember listening to it and I'm like, it has been 25 years, like wow. It's one of those moments.
Okay, so 25 years. I mean, for me. Yeah, that would make me about 8, so I'd be too old for it.
That would make me 7. Actually, that show was based for kids around the age of 3 and 4. Liz, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm listening to it. So it's like a 2-minute long spiel.
Oh, yeah. Well, you listen to it. I'll keep talking. But yeah, it's one of those things that it's very heartwarming. It's very like realism. Yeah. It really hits home to a lot of people. I think it hit home to a lot of people. It does bring back a lot of memories of the past and at the current time. But yeah, good on Nickelodeon, and I don't actually know the actor who plays Steve, but good on him for pursuing his goals, and wish the best for him. I don't even know what's happening with Blue's Clues these days. I don't even know what they're doing in Nick Jr. anymore. Since most people or young children are like on YouTube watching like Coco Melon and Baby Shark.
Stupid loan.
Oh, you're in that part. Like I said, it's heartwarming. Like it brought a slight tear to my eye. It's a very heartwarming message. That's a good way to start this episode. And as you finish listening to that, let's see here. Where is it? Here it is. Let's talk about some of the stupid people out on the world.
Super glad we're still friends.
Okay. Okay.
It's working. Yeah, I love that part because I laughed at that because I was like, a lot of us are like, oh, COVID hit and we gained like 20 pounds, and I'm cracking up. I'm like, oh, we look great after COVID hit us and killed us pretty much. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, the plague. I'm sorry. My bad.
Don't worry, I'll edit those out.
Plague. Yeah. So yes, let's get on to the stupid people because I feel like that's where we should be going.
Okay, so let's start out with the woman who shoots suspected peeping Tom outside her bedroom window. Apparently, police are investigating after a suspected peeping Tom outside of Houston home was shot to death by a woman inside. A woman in North Houston says she was frightened, but when she saw a strange man looking into her bedroom window around 11 p.m. Friday night. Believing she was in danger, she got her rifle and fired in self-defense. Gotta love Texas. People say that the woman fired several shots through her wall. At least one of them apparently hit the suspect in the torso. Investigation believed that the man staggered in a short distance, then died at the scene. Police say there has been no decision yet as whether any charges will be filed. That's interesting. It is one of those things where like you're like protecting yourself, but you still kill the person.
Yeah. Again, I don't know why that person was there at that time. I mean, it's 11 o'clock on a Friday night. The person could have been drunk. I don't know if they tested its blood alcohol level. Figure that out. But, yeah.
What would you do in that situation?
I'd call the cops. I don't own a weapon. So, well, maybe my dog. But I know he will betray me in a moment's heart. Like, oh, you have a treat? Okay, you're my buddy now. And maybe it'll give me enough time to call the cops. Maybe. Because, as I live on the bottom floor at a very open entrance. So, like, yeah. It's one of those things I take a risk with. That's why my windows are pretty much closed all the time.
You're perfect.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's continue on with some of the craziness in the world. Maryland man who attacks a woman with a semen-filled syringe was caught on camera and sentenced to 10 years.
Only 10 years? Come on, this is like pretty much attempted anything. Oh my God.
I have no idea what he was attempting. So, a Maryland man who plunged a semen-filled syringe into a woman in Anacostia County grocery store is headed to prison. Thomas Barron Steinman was sentenced to 10 years in prison for first and second...
Semen? Oh my God.
Stamen.
I know, semen and what's
anyway,
syringes with semen, you said?
I said Stamen. Is it not Stamen? Is it not pronounced?
Yeah. His last name is Steeman, but he plunged a semen-filled syringe.
Oh, okay.
Semen? Come on.
You're really going for a lowball joke. You're better than that.
I know I am.
Sad.
It's hilarious.
This is where I miss my soundboard, so I can get the dun 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 dun. I miss my soundboard. I'm sorry, audience. Hopefully, we'll get that for the 100th episode. We'll see where we're at with that. Let's see here. 10 years in prison for first and second degree assault. He pled guilty in June. Stamen attacked. I'm just gonna not say her name. In February, at Christopher's Fine Foods on Shady Side Road in Churchton. The incident was caught on surveillance video.
Oh, wrong on so many levels. Okay.
According to investigators, Stamen tried to attack two other people before Peters. Stamen recently moved from Ohio and had 6 prior convictions on his record from 1986 to 1996. Wow.
Damn.
So this guy was not well.
No.
Did you get to see the actual video?
Of,
the attack and stuff?
No, I didn't see the attack.
Yeah, it's like crazy.
That's just so weird. So weird. I don't know. Why would never understand that kind of shit?
It is crazy.
Boy. It is crazy. He must be just not mentally there. So, speaking of sperm, did you hear about the oldest sperm found in the world?
I didn't read about it. Well, go ahead. I'll let you read this one.
I'm gonna load it up. So finally, scientists find the oldest sperm in the world. Old and massive. The oldest sperm sample has been discovered in a paper published in September. Scientists announced the breakthrough discovery describing how hidden in a chunk of amber they discovered fossil sperm thought to be 100 million years old. The sperm researchers believe they belong to an ostracod, a subclass of crustaceans, which once thrived in the Earth's oceans during the Cretaceous period. The discovery beats out the previous record about 100 by 50 million years, which was found in a cocoon of an extinct species of Antarctic worm in 2015. So they're notoriously hard to find, owing to the fragility and short life of the cells. Specimen modern-day Monomar fortuitus trapped in amber. They're a boon for paleontologists when they're an amber case fossil. So, originally, the sap from trees, the fossilized remains would become trapped in the sticky sap, which eventually formed a glass-like bead around the remains to protect them and suspending them in time. So basically, it's really big. So the shocking, the sperm cells appear to be extremely long, as at least 200 microns. That's about 4.5 times the length of a body of a female ostracod. This is even more surprising given the ostracod weighs less than a raisin and is about 1 millimeter in size. This is an example of why known as sperm gigantism, a phenomenon in which animals produce a sperm much larger in comparison to the body size. Is said to be the evolutionary advantageous path of reproduction. I think that's pretty cool, that's pretty big.
I've never heard of sperm gigantism. That is a new word, and I think that is the title of this episode.
All right, sounds good to me.
So I think that might be like the last fun thumbnail we'll be able to do. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just, you never know. That's what nature can give you. Just crazy.
Evolution and Darwinism all in its play. So, the revolution of times.
Okay. Before we continue on, we also have to mention, don't everyone, thank you for listening this far. It's not over yet. We're not done yet. Don't forget that we have...
Far from over.
Don't forget to go check out our merch line at merch.tyrantdominus.com or link in the description. We have stocked shirts and hoodies with all our our different seasons, thumbnails and favorite logo designs. Get them by the end of the year because most of those are going to be gone. I'm going to remove all of them except for the current running season. So get these while you can. So you have until the end of 2021 to get any of these because you're only going to be able to get the current logo for the year. And more surprises to come along the line for some merchandise. But yeah, some of the cool, like as far as this recording, I recently purchased a couple shirts and a hoodie to kind of rep this show and kind of really showcase it because I really like the designs of a lot of the logos that we've come up with.
Yeah, they were great. They're amazing. And I need to get one of myself. I keep saying I'm going to buy one and then I get distracted and then I can't decide which one I want. The hardness of it all.
True. And you guys might be thinking that they're a little bit pricey, but these are the best quality shirts. These are printed on we didn't skimp on comfort over price. So they might be a little bit pricey, but you're getting a premium shirt for sure. That's the least that I want. Whenever I was looking into having merchandise for the shows, I want to make sure it's comfortable first. Then
yes.
So yeah, they might be a little bit pricey. You might be thinking, but if you're thinking they're a little bit pricey, they're for the rest until holiday season. So until the end of the year, you can use code POD10 to get 10% off any purchase on the merchandise. So don't forget POD10 POD10 to get 10% off, and go ahead and rep some of our merch
and get more listeners. We love you guys.
Okay. And I've always been a person where if I'm going to support something, I'd rather get something in return.
Yep.
Okay, let's get into some current news, actually, a little bit more recent stuff.
There's a lot of Oregon news. I don't know if you were paying attention to any of my postings.
I don't really look into Oregon news. I like looking into like crazy shit.
I know, but there's some really good ones, okay?
Okay, how about
the bridge? How about the bridge that's named after our favorite Simpson character?
the Flanders one? Okay.
Yes! Why not? It's funny. I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, that the bridge is named after a cartoon character. And I love...
We can talk about the missing YouTubers who went on their, like, kind of like a summer expedition. And the woman went missing. Or the young lady went missing. And
what happened to the husband or boyfriend or whatever?
The boyfriend. Maybe. It was the boyfriend.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, they went on a little, like, it was like a summer trip. One of those things that would have been nice to do when I was younger.
We're still young. Don't think that.
True. Like, okay,
how much vacation time do you have accrued? Because I know I have just as much as you do.
True. Here's the thing. Would you, like, say 5 years ago, before the plague spread around us, wouldn't it have been interesting to plan a fun like road trip for like about, I think they said they were going out for like 3 months and exploring the country? Like, that would have been fun.
Nice.
That would have been nice.
I think a lot of people are doing that now in the older years is riding in RVs. That's why there's no access to RVs right now, and just going road tripping across all of the U.S. So it's just kind of cool.
Yeah, and a lot of younger people are doing that now too. Kind of, but these are kind of like
because the plague has and
that, and there's a lot of like van YouTubers and stuff like that, and just kind of posting their things on Instagram, all that social media fun. But yeah, like, well, 5 years ago it would have been different for you in your situation. But like, suiting your that situation, it would have been interesting to do a 2-3 months road trip.
Of course, yeah, I think it would be fun. It definitely would bring new insight and much more knowledge of our country. And of course, 5 years ago, I hadn't visited the state of Alaska yet, so.
But yeah.
That would be, about 3 years ago. That's the last time I went to Alaska, so. Sure. The first time and the last time.
I've always had this thought to do a small road trip and go visit a couple different states and do it like that. Just gotta find the right individuals for it.
You can count on me. I got a great bladder.
I would. You seem to have always a busy life.
I do, but I can always make an advance plans in a couple years. Next year I'm summer booked, so got a wedding to be in.
Anyways, so what happened actually during this case? So there was they were doing this thing. They were vlogging and everything, right? And something weird happened where this YouTube couple, people noticed that they haven't been posting stuff, right? It's like 3 weeks, and they're like, okay, that's weird. And 3 weeks after that, the boyfriend comes back home without her, doesn't really say anything, just like and the parents start to get worried, and then all this evidence start to come out. And that currently she is missing right now. The name of the family is Gabby, and like there has been footage of a cop pulling them over because apparently they were having a domestic dispute in a car, and this was I think, as far as this recording, like 3.5 to 4 weeks ago. And that's like the last time any video evidence of her has been. And it is one of those things it's fun to go out and explore, but then you just never know what happens out in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, she is currently missing. The family is out and trying to find out what happened. Everyone kind of already suspects the boyfriend, and stuff like that.
Yeah, he comes back and he doesn't say a thing. Guilty.
And as of yesterday afternoon, actually yesterday, yeah, because the police went to go pick him up to kind of question him because he wasn't answering anything, and he already lawyered up beforehand, which is like, that's really suspicious right there. He is currently also missing / in hiding. No one knows where he is. Like, huh? Why is the the main suspect hiding? So yeah. So yeah, let's see here. Locals and federal enforcements are combining through a massive county park known as the Carlton Reserve, which spans more than 24,000 acres and located north of the home in which these two families, these parents. Both the Northport Police Department, the FBI, and the agency's partners are currently conducting a search of the vast Carlton Reserve for Brian. That's the name of the dude. I'm not gonna say their last names. Right now, the girl's family is saying he's not missing. He's hiding, which I agree on that. He's not gone missing. He's hiding right now.
Yeah, he's guilty of something. We just don't know what. Obviously, he hasn't come forward, and if he really loved her, which if they're engaged, that he would come forward and say something. But he obviously is already looking guilty as it is for keeping his mouth shut and hiding.
Yeah, everyone already kind of thought he was guilty before he ran off. Like he just barely ran off recently. But yeah, it's like you just never. Yeah, people gotta just keep an eye. I'm glad some people are making a bigger noise on it because they were public figures, in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, glad somebody's outspoken for that. So
hopefully
she's doing. Hopefully they find her.
More than likely, yeah, as long as they can find her.
Find her. I know at the situation we don't know if she's alive or dead, but at this point, for the family's sake, for their sanity, they do find her.
Yes. All right, let's go to your bridge now.
Okay. I thought this would be fun just because it's different. How often I know that if you know, a lot of people say Simpsons is kind of based off of Springfield here in Oregon.
It is.
And of course the writer, Dave Groening, is that right?
Yeah. Matt Groening.
Matt Groening, sorry. I don't know why I call him Dave. Matt Groening has been a lifetime state of Oregon Godian. So they have named a bridge after one of his characters, Ned Flanders. I love the little plaque that says, "Hi diddly-ho, neighborinos." I love the fact that it's a pedestrian and bike route over the I-405. I think that's a really good way to bring an artist who has been a natural Oregonian for life, and I'm just supporting him and giving him a bridge named after one of his characters. And I think in a way they use that one because honestly, that's what we all are, as neighbors. So.
Even if some people don't agree with that.
Yep. I think it's funny. I think it's great. Something a little bit of interest and fun, a little more weirdness to Portland, as we like to keep Oregon weird, and Portland weird too in general. So, I think it's a great way to bring that, and its resilience to earthquakes and connecting the Northwest to the Pearl District. So, and the Pearl District has some great food, by the way. I haven't been up there in a while, but yeah, deliciousness. So, I thought that was pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue on with the stupid people of the world.
Yes.
Okay, let's go with the disgust growing over anti-protesters doing the Holocaust conspiracy. It's one of those things I've been hearing a while for the last couple months of these people.
Yeah, I
Sometimes,
have about towards a plague. Yes,
and I'm
not
like, oh,
discipline.
come on, guys. I know we're stuck in. A lot of people are stuck inside, but it's not that bad. And it's finally gotten to the point where people are like visually, like comparing the two, and to the point where I'm like, really, you guys are wearing the Star of David and using Anne Frank as your representation. That's pretty fucked, you know.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you 100%.
Because
It's not. This is not a religious battle. This is all about immunizations. But immunization records have been going on for years and decades. As I know, I had one as a kid to go to school. It's been going for years, public or private. It doesn't matter what school district you're in. You're going to show that.
what are you talking about?
Immunizations in general.
There's not talking about that.
Not really. I thought it was really.
What are you talking about? No. This is talking about people being trapped inside and being reduced from their rights. Like, I have no idea where you got immunization from.
That's what okay, maybe that's where I'm coming from because a lot of people are associating that.
No, people are fucking stupid. Like, people are just pissed that you can't do stuff.
I get it. Did you hear about 3 Texans who went to New York and
they
had to show their
I saw that. My sister showed me the video. I'm like, come on, yeah, exactly. These people are getting finally to, or they have, but now it's getting really to the point where, like I said, I've joked about it. This is the segregation of the jabbed and the non-jabbed people.
Yes.
And people just get jabbed. I'm like, I'm done with this garbage. And
But don't travel. Keyword, don't travel.
That doesn't matter. If you're American, you do whatever you want.
I know, but I'm just saying.
So yeah, it's like it's crazy. It's just people are instigating fights, are using like other like horrific things that have happened in the past.
I'm so sorry for the waitress that got beat up. She was doing her job. She was told what to do. I mean, that's her state regulations.
So yeah, it's getting crazy and crazy. And I've heard
Civil War might be prominent for us in the next few years.
Yeah, I've even heard a couple of the schools in this area are about to close down again.
Oh yeah, they already have. Some of them already started.
Yeah, some districts have already, and it's at a point where, because here's the interesting thing, because before, when the schools closed down, a lot of the companies also went into shutdown. That kind of helped alleviate the parents who aren't home to take care of the kids, right? But now some parents are back to work, even though some of them are not. But now, what are they going to do with the kids now? When they're not at home. So, it's gonna be interesting. It's like if you left your little girl home while you were at work. Like, what's gonna happen there?
Well, technically, she's of age. She's of age in the state of Oregon. You have to be 10 to be staying home alone.
There's actual age? Well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Washington has a little higher. I think it's 12 or something like that. I want to say. I may be lying about that, but yeah. She's of age.
How old are you guys when you were left alone?
I will say I have been left alone a lot younger than that. But
you had your siblings around too, didn't you?
Yes.
Which is different.
But but they were younger than I was by a year and 5 years. Think about that.
Oh, so you were the oldest left alone.
Oldest is left alone with my younger siblings.
Yeah, that's about right. Because I remember I was roughly 7 when I was left alone.
Yeah, I was probably around that 5, 6, 7 time frame. I don't remember.
Oh wow, that's way younger than.
But we lived in a very safe neighborhood. It wasn't like anybody was cruising to get in this neighborhood.
Oh wow, I was in the opposite.
You were probably in the opposite because you were in Chicago.
Yeah, there's gunshots every other night. So fun times.
We lived on a grove at one point. It was an avocado and orange grove. So.
Oh look at Miss Fancy Pants over here. No.
And my dad bought the house from the original owners, and the original owners were actually part of this guy's. And he had a lot of acres, but he told his people who were doing the farming for him and all that, harvesting of the crop and all that, that they could build a house on his property. But the stipulation was she had to have one avocado tree and one orange tree on the property. He had 3 avocado trees in the back, 1 in the front, and 1 orange tree. And of course, other fruit trees in the later on, but it was cool. So I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that. But yes, I wasn't near any danger because of. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I get it that a lot of people had problems growing up with that kind of gunshots and stuff like that, and being home alone.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where. Oh, I can hear the rumbling in the background. Yeah.
Weird.
Let's see here. Don't worry, audience. One day we'll do in-person recording again.
Yes, but with better sound quality.
we've heard your responses. One day we'll get there. Let's see here. What was I gonna say? So yeah, it's interesting that some of the schools are gonna be shutting down again, and seeing what's gonna happen there, and seeing what the feedback on that is gonna do with the public, because it sounds like we might be going to another work lockdown again.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I won't. I don't have that luxury. As
no, you don't have that. You're not gonna get it. Like I said, other people will.
It's funny because my brother, who works for a major state company, they were thinking about bringing in person again, and then there was a little bit of a hesitancy and talks, and then they started to see the rising in cases, and they're like, okay, no, we'll just keep extending it so you guys can work from home.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And my brother was like, at this point, I might just, move out to the coast and work from home. It'd be far better. I can go paddleboarding every day.
Well, yeah, it's we'll see how people, because a lot I've been seeing around the world people who have been in lockdown, like who are they're stuck. Like I know a couple people in Australia. They've been in lockdown for almost 9 months.
Yeah, but where the cases are at? Look at where the cases are at. They're next to nothing to us.
Oh no, yeah, they are very, very low. But man, compared to not the distress, the agitation of the people, I don't know, it's weird. There is no way to get a balance between. Well, I can really hear whatever's happening in the background, so I apologize, audience, if you can hear it too. So
I'm sorry too. I can't control it.
It's like someone doing the lawn at your place.
Oh yeah, it's Saturday. Because we have construction on. The only time they can do it is on Saturdays.
Oh my god. So like I said, audience, one day we'll get in person, but maybe even for the 100th episode, I don't know. That's still up in the air. Continuing on. I kind of lost my thought now.
I know. We were talking about the lockdown, so
yeah. It's
the grumblings.
There's no way to to balance out keeping your citizens happy and sane to keeping the numbers down. There is no way to do that.
There's no healthy way, and there's no natural way of doing that. I mean, as you can see.
Because I saw a bunch of just this morning I saw a video, a bunch of protesters attacking the police down in Australia just because they're fed up. They're done with all the curfews and being stuck at home and everything for the last 3 months. Because like ourselves, well, we have more freedoms here, but we had the like we mentioned that 4 weeks where it was just okay, we're kind of back to normal for the most part, and then we're not. but compared to other countries where they're a lot more restrictive, like they're suffering more than we do from a public like us like the average Joe perspective.
Yeah.
So shout out to all our international listeners and who are going through this. Like, I know we sound like we're having a little bit more fun, but we are still frustrated with that. So hopefully you guys are staying safe out there.
That's right, in some way or another. I feel you guys. I will take part though. I bet the health system over there is not overworked.
Not as bad as America. America's garbage right now.
Yeah, I was hearing some crazy stories about other states right now, and I was just like, okay, so maybe we're not in the worst right now, the state of Oregon itself, but
it's bad.
It's bad out there. We actually jumped to 24 cases in my hospital last night.
And I like how people say, "Oh, it's only 24. It's not bad. It's 24 in a day."
I don't think they realize how many IVs that we have to do because some of them are intubated.
Yeah, people don't.
I don't think you realize how many IVs we have to make in a day for these people. So one person could have 9 IVs.
So let's just do a little bit of math, right? Let's do 25. You said 24. We'll just average it up to 25. People understand numbers like that. And if it's averages that in a day, 7 days a week, that's 175 a week. In a month, that is close to 700. And if we do, and this is just like base and nothing else. And then that 1 year, that's close to 36,000, and that's just in one hospital. And people are saying, like, if anyone's listening, like, oh, it'll go up and down. It's just an average. If it's a 25 a day, and going back to your IVs, right? Mm-hmm. Do you want to just do
anywhere between 6 and 9 IVs per person?
So let's do 7. Okay. Continuing on with that, in a year, that is close to 250,000 IVs in one hospital.
Yeah.
And it's people just don't get it. And
I don't think they do. It's crazy because the least life-saving measures.
Because I know I've been
exhausting.
I've been hearing other stories because I love the internet, the postings where a gentleman got like he I think he broke his ankle and he wasn't able to get help for like 8 hours just because they were getting too many people. Like, oh, okay.
And what about the people who had a heart attack and they had to go to a hospital 170 miles away? That person obviously died because the hospital was overrun and overworked by the other cases.
True.
And then of course you have the plea for the jab on the family's part because they're so sick of this because they lost their loved one, that one who's been immunized, and yeah, I feel so sorry for that family.
Let's continue on with this kind of story because recently this is where public figures can really become interesting because recently Nicki Minaj posted something because she was invited to the Met Gala but she did not attend because all attendees were supposed to have the jab to go attend it. And well, like, okay, like most people like if they're not gonna do anything. But her reply to this statement was so crazy, and like I did not like. It's like one of those things where you hear from a friend who knows a friend who knows a friend, right? Mm-hmm. So apparently, the reason she didn't get the jab was because her brother's friend from Trinidad had an inverse reaction and had swollen testicles. And I'm like,
You're still laughing at that.
What? Really? This is what you post? This is a public figure, a very well-known figure, and she's posting this. She's a very influential figure as well, so it's like a lot of people will take her word for it too. Like, all right.
She's an idiot. I think the hair dye and the boob job has kind of gotten to her brain.
I don't know. People will listen to her, and they will follow her claim instead of the professionals.
Is that what your sister says?
Well, you can ask her yourself if you want. But yeah, she even claimed like a few days later that she was invited to the White House, which she wasn't officially invited to talk with the president about anything. She was invited to have a discussion with some of the head doctors of the that are in charge of all this and have a word with her about stuff. Because I understand people. Like, I understand people worried about some stuff and actually getting information. It's when people are on Facebook getting this false information and like just reading things like, oh yeah, my brother's cousin's friend like lost his left ball sack and his 2 toes because of it. Like, oh, like, okay, sure.
False information.
You gotta love Facebook.
I know Facebook, YouTube. It's AKA in quotation.
Actually, YouTube does not.
Research.
YouTube does not have it anymore. They remove anything. So we do apologize to our YouTube audience. This is also might be our last YouTube video for reasons. But yeah, we do apologize for any of our YouTube listeners. So if you want to continue to listen, I'm sorry you can't watch, but if you continue to listen. Just listen to on any of our podcast platforms. So I do apologize that you can no longer watch us. So maybe in the future you'll be able to watch us again. But for now you won't be able to watch us. But yeah, just and apparently the minister of why can't I get rid of the stupid ad?
I know, right?
The Trinidad Health Minister says that the claim is false. Like, it's false. And yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy that someone who has.
I do love the memes that come off of there. That's fresh. I love it. It's cracking me up, and it's brought that new testicle one from South Park back.
Oh yeah, that is true. Just like the
they
ball cancer
great.
one. Yes. Bring back that. Here's a perfect quote. I'm not blaming her for anything, but she should be thinking twice about propagating information that really has no basis as except of a one-off anecdote, and that is not what science is all about. That's true. People have to really put a lot of attention to stuff. Thank you, Nicki Minaj. You are my new healthcare information headline. I will be watching you, following you, so I can get all my health information. So, Liz, I'm sorry, you have fallen like under Nicki Minaj comes first. Her truth is first, then yours.
Okay.
Actually, first Nicki Minaj, then Joe Rogan, then you. So I'll take those guys.
Okay. I forgot about Joe Rogan already.
I need those. I need those those 2 first, and then like, okay, I think they're right. Sorry, Liz, you're wrong. Yeah, more.
2 against 1. Damn.
It's a vote. It's a vote. Continuing on with the craziness. An Ohio mom pleads guilty in an execution-style killing of 8 members of a family. So, Angelica plea comes nearly 5 months after her son, Edward, pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and other charges back in 2016. I'm like, holy shit, why didn't I hear about this? Like, when you hear execution style, what the fuck does that mean? I'm like, what does come to mind when you think execution style?
Basically a gun to the head.
Oh, you thought that? I was thinking medieval. Like,
yes, you were going a little bit too hard on that one. We're not quite there anymore.
I don't know.
It might be a near future prospect, though.
So let's see here.
For the heads.
Okay, let's see here. An Ohio mom pleaded guilty Friday to helping plan the killings of 8 members of a family, becoming the second member of her own family to admit to a role in a shocking crime. Prosecutors say stemmed from dispute over custody of her granddaughter. Ooh, interesting. Let's see here. Angela, 50, pleaded guilty in southern Ohio, Pike County, to conspiracy to commit aggravated murder, along with burglary and evidence tampering and other charges. In exchange for the plea, prosecutors dropped aggravated murder charges against her and recommended that she serve a 30-year prison sentence, and her argument to testify against other remaining defendants was also part of the deal, they said. She didn't make any statements during the hearing. Her husband and her 2 adult sons were also charged in the 2016 slaying of the 7 adults and a teenage boy from the Roden family. Pleads guilt comes nearly 5 months after her son Edward pleads guilty to aggravated murder and other charges and agreed to testify against the others. There is a deal that would help all 4 avoid potential death sentence. Does Ohio have the death sentence? I forget. I think there's.
I believe they do.
Because I think there's.
I actually watched a documentary about prisons and a lot. There was a couple from Ohio.
How many states? You want to guess? Have the death sentence before I Google it? Can you?
I'm gonna say 25.
Have the death penalty? You said 25?
Yeah.
Ooh, you were close. 27, actually. That's more than I thought. I thought it was 8. So a little over half the country still has the death penalty. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was something like that. Like I said, I watched a documentary about the death penalty and the death row inmates, and it's been interesting. Nonetheless, how many people are on death row and what their stories are and what put them in that position. So.
There's not much more. It's just I kind of wanted to know how they killed her, but whatever. Interesting. Like, yeah, it's just crazy. Like,
but they spared the 3 young children at the scenes unharmed.
Sure, that's
except for the teenage son.
No, you gotta go for everyone. If you're gonna do it, you gotta go for the whole. You don't leave no witnesses. God, man. Some people don't understand the proper, like, how to do a proper killing. You know, if you're gonna do it, you gotta go all in. You gotta go all in. Yeah, you know, that's, just gotta go all in. People don't understand that, and this is where they failed. You know, this is where they failed. Let's see here.
The whitest of paint.
Yeah, this was interesting because a couple years ago I was reading of the blackest of black, which is cool. But these are the two concepts of these 2 different paints. Because back in, I forget when, but it's called Vantablack. It's even licensed. Like, the artists who created it, like, no one can use it besides him. But apparently this black is able to absorb like 98.9% of light. So even if you shine a light into it, like, it's still black. It's that dark. I'm like, holy shit, that is crazy cool. Like, if you could paint a house with it, it would get so hot because it just absorbs so much heat. Which is cool because of the opposite effect, where scientists have created the world's whitest paint, and it could eliminate the need for air conditioning. Because it makes sense because of if people understand how our glaciers form, it helps repel UV radiation and all this. And little by little, we're losing that glacier, so it's just getting hotter around the world. Thank you, global warming. Dun, dun, dun.
And I blame my ancestors for causing it.
What? You're doing it right now. You drive a car.
True.
You drive a car. We all drive cars. Well, it's fine. We'll be dead before anything happens. Just leave it to the children. They can deal with it. I'm sorry that the oceans are rising and you're suffering from the heat. And I don't care. I'm living it now. But anyways, the whitest paint in the world has been created in a lab in Purdue University. A paint so white that it could eventually reduce or even eliminate the need for air conditioning, scientists say. The paint has now made it into the Guinness World Records book as the whitest ever made. So why did the scientists create such a paint? It turns out that the breaking a world record wasn't the goal of the researchers. Curbing global warming was, which makes sense. When we started this project was about 7 years ago. We had a savings energy and fighting climate change in mind. Let's see here. The idea was to make a paint that would reflect sunlight away from the building. Let's see here. Making the paint really reflective, however, also made it really white. According to Purdue University, the paint reflects 98.1% of solar radiation, while also emitting infrared heat. Because of the paint absorbs less heat from the sun than it emits, a surface coated with this paint is cooled below the surrounding temperatures, which consume power. Using this paint to cover a roof area of about 1,000 square feet could result in a cooling power of 10 kilowatts. That's more powerful than an air conditioner used by most houses. That's kind of cool.
That's cool.
That is cool. Currently, typical commercial white paint gets warmer rather than cooler. Paints on the commercial on the market that are designed to reject heat reflect only 80 to 90% of sunlight and can't make surfaces cooler than their surroundings. Two features make this paint ultra white and a very high concentrate of the chemical compound of barium sulfate, also used in the photo paper and cosmetics, and which particles are the different particle size of barium sulfite in the
barium.
paint. Stay quiet, okay?
I'm just helping you correct your English, okay? I know it's not your first language.
It's barium from now on. I don't care when anyone says barium. I think that's it, actually. No, that's it. Researchers in the market. Oh, it's going to be released. That's cool. It's going to be fucking expensive.
Oh, hell yeah. No kidding.
Would you? I don't think I would paint a room with that white, though.
I don't know either.
Because, oh God, it would get so dirty so fast.
Yeah, that's
so dirty so fast. Yeah, there's.
I agree.
I get the concept of cooling and everything, but man, I do not want to clean that. That's gonna just get dirty so fast.
I still don't understand why people get white cars. I'm like, you still see the dirt.
No. So, let's see here. What else do we got in the world? We talked about them.
Yeah, one of our boys just purchasing property to make wine.
That's not fun. That's just not. That's just the rich flaunting. Did we talk about the lady who received millions of dollars, the barista?
No.
So let me pull that one up. So, we've talked about crypto before.
Yes, we have multiple times.
Yes. And so it's becoming more and more prevalent that other countries are using it. Like I think El Salvador is one of the first countries that are adopting it as one of their main currencies. And it's gonna be interesting because it's such a highly volatile market, so you never know how much money you have in your wallet, literally in your wallet. Like one day you can have like $1,000, the next day you're like, oh, okay, I only have $500, but then the next day after that you have $2,000. Like, okay. Like, you know, like, what are you gonna do when you want to buy groceries? Do you save your money or you spend it? But, a little bit ago, let me see, when did this happen? When did this happen?
13 days ago?
13, so about 2 weeks ago. It's about 2 weeks ago. There's an app called Stripe that helps you easily. It's kind of like Cash App, PayPal, and all those like apps where you can just like here, like Venmo and all that stuff. Like here, you want to Venmo me some cash, right? Mm-hmm. And this guy was posting. He was at this barista down in El Salvador, seeing like this is how easy it is to pay someone with Bitcoin. And he was showing it to this barista, or not showing it to her. They had it like applied to their like pay system, but showing the people like here, this is how easy it is to buy a coffee. And did a quick click, done, and posted a link to her like receiving account. And within like 72 hours, she made $5 million.
Wow.
And she kindly responded with like, I don't know how this works, but thank you. Like, yeah, it is still reasonably a new market, and it's hard for people to understand. We've talked about it on the show multiple times. We've had Manny talk about it since he's more heavily knowledgeable about this stuff. But it is becoming more mainstream, and it's becoming like it has become El Salvador's like one of their main literal currencies now. So it's going to be a thing.
Man, if I need to go to El Salvador, I probably should start Bitcoining right now.
Just transfer some, just put in $100, and hopefully it'll be worth more in the future. Actually, it's pretty low right now, so I would buy low now. This is not financial advice. You always do your own research, but Liz, yeah, you should. But yeah, yeah, she like great on her for and her company, because you know all it was were like a couple people tipping like $5 to $30 to her just in Bitcoin. Like, here you go, just randomly, kindly, didn't buy anything from her, just tipped her,
which is kind of cool.
It's cool.
It's pretty cool.
It's one of those things where you can. It's one of those things where back when PayPal was a thing, but now you have Venmo, you have Cash App. You can like tip anyone or send money to anyone around the world. You don't have to Western Union.
Yeah, I know. Poor Western Union.
Yeah,
fading into the dark.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those things you could get scammed easily and stuff like. But no, now all you need is their link, and yeah. So yeah, like it's great. You know, it's one of those kind things of the internet. So if you want to support the show, you can always send it to our thing. We do have a support thing on here, but you can always get our clothes. I'd rather have you guys get something out of supporting us, like yes. Rock on merch. Support by showing that you watch the show.
Or listen, in this essence.
Yeah. Is there anything else interesting? Let's see here. Let's do this last one because it's kind of the last thing. More and more countries, like European countries, are banning Americans to travel unless you have like a work visa and stuff, which makes sense. So even if you have the jab or don't have the jab, they are still not letting Americans travel unless you like have a work visa. Were you weren't planning on traveling to any European countries anytime soon, were you?
I wanted to go to Ireland, and Scotland. That's like the two main things I would like to, because my heritage is very dominant in that. Besides another European country, I'm a European mutt. But that is one thing I would definitely want to go check out, because we want to go a little further into our family history, because technically it is my great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather that came into the States. So we're still trying to figure out when and how, but because him and his son were the same name, it's very confusing.
Are they on the ban list? I'm trying to see. I know there's like 7 countries that are banned.
I haven't heard it. No, I don't think so.
I know Sweden is. I'm trying to see the list. If they have a list.
Israel, Kosovo, Lebanon, Montenegro, and North Macedonia.
Is that one? What's that list? When's that list? How old is that one?
What's the one they posted?
You got to find the most recent one.
September 4th. I don't know.
That's old.
Okay. Change. Damn it.
Gotta find the newest one. Trying to find the most recent one. Where's the list? Come on. You would think there'd be an easy list, right?
You would think, but that's not always. European Union removed the United States from its safe list.
So basically, the European Union. So what countries in the European Union are there? Let's go with that. I don't know why.
So many of them.
Oh, then that the entire European Union's gone. There it is. European Union countries. List. Just give me the list. Just give me the list. Because if you just take that.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't. I didn't have plans.
Oh wow. Okay. So we have Austria, Belgium, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Ireland, Italy, Poland, Portugal, Spain, Sweden, Slovakia. Yeah, basically, you can't even go to Europe unless you ever work visa.
Damn.
Well, so
maybe in a couple of years. Like... I don't have an intention anytime in the next year or so, but maybe in the next couple of years, I do plan on traveling. So.
Yeah,
so then we'll be back to a somewhat of a normal thing, I hope.
No, it's going to be World War III all over.
Fuck you.
It almost happened.
I know. It has multiple times. It's going to happen one of these days. I mean. It's not cool. Not cool.
It's fine.
No,
all right.
Not fine.
It is fine. You just don't see it from. Yep, it's perfectly fine. Okay.
I mean, you guys can't put your shit together.
What are you talking about? We do what we want when we want. Gotta be American, Liz.
I know.
All right.
I know.
We're going to end it there then. Everyone, thank you for listening. Don't forget to check out our merch line at merch.tyrantdominus.com or follow the link in the description at link. It's in the description. It's weird how to. It's like linktr.ee/tyrantdominus, and there should be a link under merch. Check it all out. There's fun t-shirts, sweaters, both men and women's shirts. And remember that these shirts are only going to last till the end of the year. And same, so if you're going to pick up anything, be sure to use code POD10 for 10% off. So yeah, pick up something before the end of the year, and if you want to let people know that you enjoy the show or want people to listen, maybe buy as a gift, because the holiday seasons are coming up. It's getting to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, remember these designs are only going to last till the end of the year. But yeah, anything you want to say, Liz?
Well, it's getting that time of year, Oktoberfest. I know I'll be going to one. You guys enjoy your beers and enjoy some Wiener Schnitzel, since we are going to pretty much banned from Europe.
Yeah, you can't have. If we can't go to Europe, Europe will come to us.
Exactly. And thank you guys for listening, all our fans and all our friends and family, and I appreciate you guys. And I hope everybody has a great time and enjoy it until the next time.
Yeah, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.